Guys, my name's Leona from Supra Conscious Soul, and this is your Divine Feminine reading. So, first of all, from the Rumi card, we have the Cosmic Heart. Now, this card talks about somebody who has been through darkness, somebody who has been through some sort of crisis. But this crisis has brought about some kind of change. This pain has been transformed. This is someone who has managed to stay in the energy of love, or needs to stay in the energy of love in order to move forward. This is about confronting parts of ourselves that have needed to try and control situations. This is about a process in which we have been prepared for. This is about transmutation. This is about divine destiny. And it also talks about love, a tsunami of love that is approaching, a cosmic tsunami of love that is approaching. And it's because we've been through this darkness, and it's because we've been through this pain. And that is allowing a transformation in the inner self. This is talking about the energy of Venus, the energy of love. We're now in Libra season. So it's finding that balance between the pain and the love. Yeah, that's what we're needing to do in terms of the feminine energy. It's number 8, which also talks about abundance. It talks about this is our source of power. This is how we're going to transmute and transform this energy. Now, the shadow energy here is the Tower. This talks about sudden changes. It talks about breaking something down in order to be rebuilt. It talks about something that's not on a solid foundation and now is becoming solid because of that breakdown, because of that crisis, let's say. Yeah, there has been some deception, or there is some deception here with the Seven of Swords. But this is also Moon in Aquarius, which talks about needing to go our own way in this situation, needing to kind of let go of some of these swords, needing to not follow the crowd with this energy, needing to kind of, or even somebody trying to get away with something. There could have been some kind of theft, there could have been some kind of betrayal, there could have been some kind of deception with this energy. Yeah, maybe somebody was trying to stop us moving forward with the Chariot in reverse. There's a level of immaturity, but the Chariot in reverse also talks about wars, conflict, disputes around the family, disputes around the home. But these are being transformed, these are being rebalanced, let's say. We then come into the reading with the Nine of Swords. Now, it talks about improvement, but this is after some kind of lack of sleep, maybe almost getting to the point of depression. It can talk about escaping defeat. It can talk about seeing things or seeing a situation through right till the end. But it wasn't an easy situation. It was a hard situation, because this can denote shadow work, needing to do the shadow work, bringing the darkness to light, exploring our fears. And in that way, we're problem solving. That's how we're able to overcome something. But it also talks about beginning again. So there's this needing to kind of almost get to this ending, to get to this darkness in order to begin again. But that comes from, like I'm saying, bringing those fears to the light, not trying to kind of subdue them, because otherwise they get out of balance and we get into shame, guilt. We get into situations where our mind just keeps running over and over and over. Yeah, this can also talk about somebody or some people around you and their kind words kind of bringing you out of this darkness here. So we then have the Six of Swords underneath that, coming from the past. Now, the Six of Swords is an escape energy. It's about a transition. It's a rite of passage. This is where we're being guided by others, supported by others, yeah? But it can also talk about our beliefs and looking at what beliefs are blocking our way forward. This can talk about our guide, our inner child, doing mother work, mother healing. But it's coming from a volatile sea to a much calmer sea, yeah. This is about somebody being persecuted for their beliefs, even maybe they're being prejudiced against them, yeah. But it's also healing after an illness, healing after some kind of depression, and moving away from that. It's almost like we're shouting taxi to get us out of this situation, or needing to with the divine feminine energy. This is how we're going to manifest through the divine feminine at this time, yeah. We then move on to the Five of Cups, which also is about overcoming emotional blockages, letting water go under the bridge, not kind of holding on to these darker energies, because this is a scorpionic energy as well. And it's allowing ourselves to kind of feel these energies, but that can come with this sense of isolation too, yeah. But it's about, this isolation is not just like to make us feel bad. This is so that we can do that inner work, so we can do the spiritual work, so we can pull back our energy in order to recover, so that we can look at maybe our ancestral talents with this card, yeah, making amends with situations. But it also talks about dreams becoming a reality, because we're no longer looking at what has been spilled. We're looking at what can be done about this. We're looking at the two cups behind us in order to move forward, yeah. But that is some dark spiritual work, and it gets even darker to a point because we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. But this is where that pain is also transformed into that power. This is mirroring the cosmic heart here, yeah. This is, yes, we've been through the darkness, but it's like we didn't flee from it. We didn't run away from our emotions, yeah. There was a balancing up with this energy. It's also feeling like we was almost at the point of lunacy at one point here, had enough of a situation, needing to let go of a situation, needing to kind of take out the poison, so to speak. There's been physical pain with this card. There's been like attackers. We've been feeling like there's been more than one attack here, and it got to the point where we had enough, and we called a halt on this situation. We was like, no, we're not going to allow this to continue, yeah. It also talks about having some kind of temporary advantage, and that comes from doing that inner work, from doing that spiritual work. Both the 9 and the 10 are cards about mental anxiety, mental fears, trying to let go of those fears, yeah. Mind just going on and on and on. There's a lot of mental cards here. The 6 of Swords is also a mental card, but it talks about being able to kind of get enough space in order to look at something clearly, in the same way that a scientist would be able to, yeah. Allowing ourselves to kind of go through this experimentation, perhaps, yeah. We then go on to another swords card, and this is the Knight of Swords, and this is where we're taking some kind of action, and it's because of the past that we're doing this. These are where we've formed opinions because of the experiences that we've been through. This is where we're using our tongue to argue for others. This could be a lawyer, perhaps. Yeah, this is about cutting through obstructions, cutting through mental obstructions, yeah. Coming on top of this 10 of Swords energy in some kind of proactive way, such as like slaying a dragon, or reacting or righting a wrong to a situation. But there's been warnings with this card. This is about messages of warnings. So I almost feel like the situation isn't quite over with this Knight of Swords. So we're needing to kind of heed this warning. Clear away these clouds, yeah? Find the clarity in a situation. There's a house on fire in these cards, and there's people running away, yeah? So this is about fighting against this, yeah? Somebody's set our house alight, and we're wanting to get some kind of justice. where there's been injustice, where there's been darkness, where we've been pushed to our limits. So we then go to the Three of Cups, which is a much more beautiful energy. This is about women gathering to support each other. This is about us leaving kind of donations for our ancestors, leaving some kind of gifts for our ancestors, being a gift to others in a sense as well. There may have been some kind of third party situation as well with this card. But it also talks about accepting our light, accepting our shadow, and finding a way to balance those energies. Yeah, this can talk about some kind of advancements where we're kind of getting the fruits of our labor. This is where we're celebrating. This is where we've put the work in. It can talk about abundance. It can talk about being pregnant for some of us. Maybe we weren't able to get pregnant, and now we're celebrating that fact as women. There's women supporting us. This could be a baby shower perhaps, or some kind of relationship that comes out where we're taking it to the next level, or where we're letting other people know, like, look, this is what's happened to me, this is where I've been. Yeah, this is about raising spirits, or needing to raise our spirits, because they've been in the dark depths. They've been in the gutter here with the Ten of Swords. We then move to the Nine of Cups, but it's in reverse. So there's been some kind of, maybe there's been overindulgence, maybe there's been selfishness by some parties, maybe something's kind of been hidden under the table with this energy. This can talk about also about a liberation of our emotions, a liberation of our soul. Yeah, there's this kind of, something gets exposed with this card, mistakes kind of surface. There is like this courage as well to kind of make a difference with this energy, and that brings around that freedom. So we're needing to be courageous as we move forward. We're needing to look at where we might be overindulging as well, where we might be overindulging in this depression perhaps. So needing to come out of this depression, yeah, needing to kind of needing to get over the fact that things didn't work out quite as they should have done. But this is where emotionally we're letting go of some of those cups as well. We're letting go of some of those old emotions. Yeah, this is about needing to find that joy again. These children are playing here. There's been something maybe possibly around children. There might have been some kind of selfishness around children. Yeah, but now we're moving on. And as we move on, this is another 9. So there's 2 endings of cycles here. 9 of Cups in reverse, 9 of Swords, 3. So now we're ending 3 cycles. 1 in terms of our energy, but we're wounded here. We're the wounded warrior with the 9 of Wands. We're anticipating that we're about to get attacked again. We're putting up boundaries here. But this is also a card of isolation. This is also a card of, especially with the 9 of Cups, we might be asserting our independence in order to get our freedom here. But the 9 of Wands here is asking us to kind of wait and see what happens. There's a pause in the energy. But Wands are also intuitive. So we're needing to allow insights to arise before we move on to the next stage. Because like I said, with the Knight of Swords here and the 9 of Wands, there is this aspect of a warning that there is some kind of hidden enemies that are still kind of surfacing. So we're needing to kind of look at that energy. And that comes from this pause, from this reflection. Yeah, not trying to rush ahead with this energy, because we may miss opportunities with the 3 of Wands. Yeah, it may cause creative blocks for some people. There's a need to kind of find support, find help as well with the 3 of Wands in reverse and the Knight of Swords. We're needing to get some kind of backup as we move forward, because there has been deceit. There has been some kind of derailment, and we're needing to stop and pause and look at the details. Yeah, don't take on too many people's energies with this card, because this can talk about psychic kind of overload and needing to kind of check out who's really there for us, who's really not there for us at this time. But also there's an aspect of needing to take responsibility for our actions, because the actions that we're about to take are going to have an effect 7 generations into the future, and some possibly say 7 generations into the past. So that can talk about clearing ancestral karma for some of us, yeah? But making sure that we don't miss these opportunities, because the 3 of Wands in the upright is talking about opportunities, gateways. There's this doorway. We've made a decision and our ships are coming in, but we're needing to pause to make this decision, especially with that 9 of Wands. However, intuition is going to be very important with these energies. Insights. In this Tower card, we have the crown chakra being blown off here, and that is insight. That is about a higher consciousness, needing to think before we move, yeah? But needing to do it in a very independent way, like I said, with that 7 of swords underneath there, needing to kind of go in our own direction, our own insights, because other people may be clouding our vision at this time. So we also have higher self here as the guidance, and this comes from solitude. So pulling back our energy, allowing ourselves to meditate, allowing ourselves to do the inner work, the inner healing in order to move forward, yeah? Because we then have reaching for your dreams. Now this also says go for it. So, but it also has this moon here, which talks about intuition, but not following our fears, because the moon is very apt at making us fearful, at making us not see everything that's coming, because the moon doesn't have its own light. It comes from the sun, and the sun is the clarity here, and that is the insight. That is where we get this rebirth. That is where our dreams are starting to come true now. This is where we're tapping into this abundance now, from that clarity. We then have the World card, and this is also saying, yes, we can end this cycle, but if we're not careful, this cycle can get out of hand. It can become too much. There's a lot of eyes watching us at this time, but we're needing to kind of go within. We're needing to follow our intuition. It can talk about travel. It can talk about recovery. It can talk about not being too kind of feeling too secure at this time, making sure that at every point we are checking in with our intuition. And in order to do that, we need to get to this point of stillness. So asking ourselves questions while we're meditating. Is this the right next step for me? Should I do this? And the very first answer that comes to us, that is our intuition speaking. The second, the third answers, that's other people's opinions, that's other people talking, that's the devil, that's our ego, yeah? Not to listen to that. Listening to that first intuitive insight is going to be very important in order to manifest over this next week, over using this current energy. We then have, from the subconscious cards, it talks about intruders. It talks about this sense of feeling insecure. We may not know who these intruders are. We may not know who these hidden enemies are. But this may also be aspects of ourselves that we're not quite feeling comfortable with, yeah? This is about where we're trying to hold this door shut, yeah? We're trying to, we're not knowing who's trying to come through, who's trying to come in. But our insights and our intuition are going to lead us through self-reflection, yeah? It can also talk to us about what's troubling us deep down. So we may be having dreams. Dreams are going to be powerful messages at this time. These are where we're going to try and find this calmness, this stillness. But we're also needing to look at situations step by step, looking at each detail, definitely not moving forward at speed until the right time to reach our dreams, until the right time to move forward. Both of these cards are saying follow your intuition before moving, and that is how you're going to tap into this abundance. There's love coming in with that cosmic heart, like I said. So make sure that you're not kind of guarding yourself against the good people. There's a lot of supportive energy in this reading. So it's about the divine feminine, or using the divine feminine energy, whether you're a male or a female, to see who is supporting me at this time, who is trying to create obstacles, who really is attacking me at this time. Where do I get this feeling from that I'm being attacked? Allowing yourself to look into that. Maybe asking yourself before you go to sleep at night time, angels, archangels, show me what I need to know for my next steps, yeah? But dreams are very important. The moon is very important. Water, the moon, and intuition on this card again. But that is how we're going to complete this cycle with the world. Yeah, that is how we're going to get this power. It also has 8 here, and 8 is about this cosmic heart as well, and that is how we're going to transform this pain into power and not be overridden by it. So my lovelies, I really do hope this has helped. Take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you next week.